We're just out for a walk here at the old disused railway line near Droxford, and it's been converted to now a track for walkers and cyclists. Just alongside the track here, thought this was rather interesting. This looks like brambles here, and it is a relative of the blackberry, but this is called dewberries, and they fruit a little bit earlier than blackberries, and they have this fruit that is kind of a bit irregular and a bit kind of weird looking. In fact, a lot of people pass them over because they think it's a blackberry that's gone off or is in some way malformed or been diseased, but in fact it's a different species of rubus. It's a relative of blackberries, close relative, and it's got a flavour all its own. So I'm just going to try it now, and I'll try and see if I can describe it for you. A little bit more seedy and slightly more sour than regular blackberries, but it's got a sort of grapey flavour, I think, so worth seeking out. And very often you find with the fruits, they actually come apart. All the little separate drupelets just come apart when you pick them, but that's not really a problem. So yeah, they just fall apart like that, and they turn into almost like separate little berries, but doesn't affect the flavour. Quite nice, yes. One there, there's a very nice specimen there, and the fruit has got this kind of blue waxy bloom on it, a bit like a blueberry. So there we go, that is dewberries. Very nice. This must be a little bit of a damp spot here, because this plant here is called Meadowsweet. This is a plant you normally find in sort of damp riverside sort of environments. It's in the rose family. It has these feathery flowers that smell kind of like strong vanilla scent, and the leaves, when they're crushed, have a sort of very aromatic sweet scent. The plant contains salicylic acid, which is a precursor of the drug aspirin, so it used to be a folk remedy for headaches and fevers. So there we go, that's Meadowsweet, and you can make drinks out of the flowers, but I've tried that before and they were very potent, actually, very strongly flavoured. So if you're making something out of Meadowsweet flowers, I would only recommend using a tiny amount, because little goes a long way. We've got stinging nettles here, obviously edible. Stinging nettles make fantastic soup, although it's too late in the year to pick these. But look at this, there's nettles here that are towering above my head, probably maybe 8 or 9 feet tall there. Quite amazing, 2.5 meters tall probably. It just goes to show you, when they have to grow through competing plants, and when they've got their feet into something that's obviously quite rich and nutritious, they can grow to a fantastic height. There's one there, I reckon that must be 10 feet tall up there. Amazing. Look at that butterfly, Red Admiral. Isn't that beautiful? Just basking in the sunshine there. One more wild edible along here. This is garlic mustard. Now you can, when it's a younger plant, you can eat the leaves of this, although I've not had very much luck with it. I've always found it unpalatably bitter. However, the seed pods here produce these little black seeds, and these are mustard seeds. So actually what we're going to do, on the way back, we'll collect up a little handful of these, we'll grind them down, and we'll actually make some mustard. And what we've got here is rosebay willow herb, a plant which I've often thought had too many names. Rosebay willow herb seems a bit of a mouthful, doesn't it? Right, this is also known as fireweed because it tends to spring up where there's been forest fires or disturbed ground. In World War II it was actually known as bombweed because it used to spring up on patches of ground where the soil had been disturbed by explosions. So this plant The flowers are supposedly edible, so I've never tried them before, so let's give them a go. Yeah, they're sort of vaguely fruity, mildly sweet. You can supposedly cook the flowers down and make a tea, or you can actually make jelly out of the flowers. People make a decoction of the flowers and then thicken it with pectin and sugar and make a sort of jelly to spread on toast. Now the other thing about this plant is if we pull it up, we should find that in the middle of the stem there's a sweet tasting pith. So we're going to try that with just one of these plants because there's hundreds of them here. So I'm going to pull one up and split it and we'll see what it tastes like. Right, let's have a look. So I need to split the stem open, and then apparently this pith in the middle here, sort of stringy-ish pith, is edible. So let's have a taste of that. Okay. It is very sweet. Sweet sort of sticky texture. It's slightly fruity. Not a great deal of flavour. I've heard people say it tastes a bit like melon. I can't say I can taste that myself. Definitely sweet though. You can taste the sugars in it. Not unpleasant at all though, actually. Vaguely cucumbery sort of flavour, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, that's quite nice. Let's see if we can get a bit more. So let's have a go. Just splitting that down the middle again. There's not a lot in there, so imagine if you were going to live off of this, you'd have to find quite a big patch of plants. Apparently the plant produces thick, tuberous, starchy roots as well, which are edible. That's not at all unpleasant actually. That's quite an interesting little wild food experience. Not something I've tried before, but definitely you can taste the sugars and sweetness in there, so I think the food value of that, if you're in a survival situation, would probably be quite significant. So, here's another woodland edible. This is Solomon's seal. It's just growing here. You find this a lot in shady woodland, and apparently you can dig this up and there's a starchy tuber underneath there that can be cooked and eaten. Supposedly tastes a bit like potato, but I'm not going to dig that up because it's not my land. So I'm just going to leave that. What I'm going to do with these garlic mustard seeds, what you do is you select the plants that have got the driest seed pods all the way up to the top, like this one here, and literally just do that and gather up. You get a handful of seeds and chaff. I'm just going to put it all in the bag now and take it home for later. We'll sort the seeds from the chaff when we get home. Guess I need a few grams of the seeds, really. Let's have a close-up demo of how that works. So just run the hand up the plant like that, and you do get quite a few seeds in there. Okay, so what we've done, we've picked up all of these seeds and there's loads of seed pods here, and as you can see the seeds have actually fallen out of the pods inside the bag. So I'm just going to do the first level of sorting here, which is we'll just get rid of all of that. There might be one or two seeds in there, but I'm not too worried. So we'll just chuck that back in the hedge, and if there's one or two seeds there, then we've helped the plant to spread itself around, so we kind of paid it back a little bit, which is just fine by me. So I'm just going to get rid of most of the chaff there. There we go, and then we've got pretty much clean seeds there. Need a little bit of secondary cleaning when we get home to blow the rest of the small pieces of chaff out of there. But at least I haven't got to carry home a great big bag of chaff, that's fine. I noticed off to the side is a particular type of soil disturbance up there. Let's go and have a look and see what's caused that, because I think I know what it is. So here we go. You can see a lot of sandy soil has been dug out here, and what we're going to find, there we go, there it is. That's a badger sett. What do you reckon, Eva? So there we go, that's a badger sett, and quite a fresh one I would say, judging by the state of the soil. There's probably badgers down there Now there's older ones here, set still a fairly fresh one there, and loads more over there. So we're not going to see the badgers because it's the middle of the daytime, but if you look in there you can actually see their footprints.